Goddamn.
Man. Well, we are the first Saturday night's main event since 2008. Um, we are one since then, deep, and uh, uh,
Man, that was a show.
well, wow. So, mm, this is interesting. This is interesting, bro, because see, the show tonight, the show tonight I hate that I have to say this because I was pretty excited for the show, and it really pains me that I have to say this, but this was nothing more than a fucking house show. I
Mhm.
mean, honestly, I dead serious, man, honestly, this was absolutely nothing more than a house show, and that the reason it pains me to say that is because they hyped this shit up so much. You could even argue they hyped this more than they hyped fucking Survivor Series.
Genuinely, probably.
And you're scratching and clawing to stay away from the 2 hour mark? I mean, why at the very least, dude, I really don't understand why this show didn't go at least 2.5 or 3. I mean, the show ended
Right.
at 9:03 Central Time, um, which some of the times on this show are just utterly ridiculous, and I truly don't understand how, and I'm not saying every match on the card has to go 25 minutes, but some of these timestamps I have here are fucking ridiculous. And
Mhm.
then for you at the end of the show to not film one of the most important parts. I mean, I found out that this whole ordeal happened right before we went live here. I load up Twitter to make my tweets to promote that we're live with the review, and I see Kevin Owens getting into it with Triple H, and he dropped Cody Rhodes on his head with a package pile driver. You you're telling me they couldn't have got a little bit of an overrun just to show that?
No, that's crazy, man. That's really I don't understand why they would hype it to pay-per-view levels if you're gonna be such restricted by, the TV, time and time slot, whatever, to where like you said, it's just a glorified house show. You fucking rush everyone in, rush everyone out. This felt like a 2022 AEW show, bruh. It was fucking rushed to hell. Just people after people, match after match. It's just, I don't get why you would hype it up that much if it was just gonna be that simple.
I didn't understand it either, bro. I didn't. I didn't. I didn't. I don't know. Yeah. Honest to God, man. This was no more. This was no fucking more than a glorified house show, man. I mean, it again. I don't understand how this does not go past the 2 hour mark to just give it more of a pay per view feel. Um,
Hmm.
and you know, I, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like I just again I just don't, and again it's not that it was a bad show, but it just felt like everything was just so quick. We were in the beginning of the show, and obviously it's 7 o'clock, and before I blink it's 7:40, and the women's match is already done with, and I'm sitting there like, wait, damn. I'm like, we're basically on match 3. We're done with match 2 now, and we're not even an hour into the show. So that was a little shocking to me. And then I started thinking to myself like, okay, how long is this show gonna go? And so just out of curiosity, I checked on my YouTube TV because I was watching on Peacock, and the official time slot that it was given on TV was 7 to 9, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself,
Damn.
wait, you mean to tell me they built this like a pay-per-view but gave it the time that a weekly show should go?
I don't understand that. The Raw on Netflix is gonna be longer than this. Fucking their average Dynamite is fucking longer than this. At least give this an overrun. That fucking Dynamite, like what? I don't understand.
I didn't understand it either, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't, I just, yeah, I mean, I really wanted to love this show, and I really wanted to be excited for this show, and there's a lot of things to like about this show. There is, but there's also a lot again that just left me scratching my head, saying, "Hmm, that was that was definitely a decision for sure. That was definitely a decision with a lot of things on this show, and you're going to hear very shortly about a lot of decisions that were made tonight. So yeah, very head scratching, very head scratching. But nonetheless, what is going on, everybody? And welcome back to another edition of the Notorious podcast, another edition of your WWE post show, your WWE PLE post show reviews, man. As what is going on, everybody? And if this is your first time, watching NHP, and you guys do not know how the show works, every Monday we are on here with Unscripted, and every Friday at 4 p.m. Central, we are on here with the news as well as the pay-per-views for both AEW and WWE. We are live directly after the show goes off the air with the official post-show review, man. If you guys did miss yesterday's edition of news, that is not available on all platforms for you guys yet, but that, as well as this Saturday night's main event review should be up either tomorrow night or early Monday morning for you guys on all platforms. But if you guys do want to find us on all platforms, that is Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. And if you want to see it first, join us right here, like I said, live after the pay-per-views for both WWE and AEW, Friday at 4 p.m. Central for the news, and Monday after Monday Night Raw for Unscripted, man. Also, if you guys have not got a chance to get your hands on some of the official NHP merchandise, you guys can now find this live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video, man, where you can find this beautiful, beautiful piece of merchandise live on the merch shop to commemorate the rebrand of NHP, the rebrand of the podcast, with the official Next Chapter design, man. So with that, man, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at NHP, I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very podcast. And as for the other half, we got my man Sir K here. How the hell are you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Just been chilling out, man. I was hyped for the show, man, and it kind of stumbled and fell on that one, but overall I'm doing good. I'm still doing good. And just been chilling, man. Next week I'm excited for. Um
Mm.
and then after that it's Christmas, really excited for Christmas obviously.
Next
And
week? What's next week?
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, but I'm excited. I'm excited for next week, and I'm excited for the week after that, which is Christmas, obviously. And then yeah, and then after that, we're basically building up to a Royal Rumble, man. So I'm excited. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Like Durante was asked, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. The family's good. How is everybody doing in the live chat? How's everyone doing in the replay? And what about you, bro? How you doing?
Yeah, man. I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good, man. Just chilling, man. Somewhat enjoyed my night of wrestling. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say I did not enjoy the show. I wouldn't say that, but but overall, man, it was just it was nice, man. It was nice just getting just sit back and just relax. I spent some time I spent some time wrapping up some spent some time wrapping up some Christmas gifts, and I spent some time just watching Saturday night's main event, man. So it was overall nice. It was overall nice, and I liked it, man. I liked it a lot, and yeah, it's been a good night. Excited getting into the
Sure.
Christmas season and all that kind of stuff. So um always well, my favorite holiday of the year. So it was nice to just rewind, watch some wrestling, and just relax and just chill out, bro. So um yeah, that's basically about it, bro. But as Toronto always asks, how's life? How's the family? Um, life is good.
Yeah.
Family's good. And what about you, Durante, Logan, and Notorious Hillbillies?
What's
Wow,
up, man? How you doing?
how how's it going, bro? Love the name. Love the name, man. But how are you guys doing? And thank you guys.
What the fuck, man? You know what it is? The clip came off the back of my fucking desk, but I can't reach under there right now, so I have to just prop it up for this time being. Oh fuck.
If you do need to black out your camera so you can get under there really quick, it is understood. I don't know
That's
how
good.
long the process takes, but
It'll take longer than you think. It's so against the wall, and there's just so much shit around it. So is that good, or is that too tilted?
you look good. That actually might, yeah, that actually looks really good.
Okay,
Um,
good.
so yeah, life's good, family's good, and what about you, Durante, Logan, man? How are you guys doing? Bell, everybody here in the live chat, and um everybody here in the live chat, as well as everybody here in the replay mafia, man. My guys JT and JB, how are you guys doing? And thank you guys for joining us as always, man. So that's yeah, that's basically about it, bro. That's basically about it. And yeah, how's everybody doing? And how did everybody enjoy Saturday night's main event, man? I see man, I definitely hear a lot of Logan's complaints, man. So
Oh,
you know, I,
definitely.
obviously we were active in the group chat at a point or two throughout the show, bro. So it was just yeah, I was I just got I honestly, man, I honestly got an off vibe. Like I said, it just felt so rushed, and then I'm sitting there, man, and we're in the third match, the world heavyweight title match, and Logan had put in the group chat, he had put in the group chat, and he said, is it just me, or does the show feel, is something just feel like not hitting about this show, and I yeah, I typed in there, I thought so far the show just felt pretty rushed. Like I said, we got done with two matches, and we were only 40 minutes into the show, so um it could be my fault because I thought the show was going to go longer. But at the end of the day, man, the show going longer, the show going longer, I just assumed it was going to go longer because of how they built it. They built it like a fucking pay-per-view. So that
Hmm.
probably my fault, but yeah, I mean, it felt very rushed, man. It felt very rushed. A lot of things just did not have time to breathe, I felt. And two, with the matches you put on the show, I think you could have given people a lot more time. I think you could have given people a lot more time and used your time and shared the wealth a little bit if you would have tacked on even an extra 30 to the show. If it was me, honestly, I probably would have went the whole way and added another hour just so
Oh
everybody
yeah,
can get time.
good
But
time.
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Definitely, man. I think it was. I think that's the main criticism. I like the vibe to the show. I like everything that they did around the show. It's just they rushed it. They really did. It was just in and out for everything, and that's just not the way you present something to make it feel special.
For sure. For sure, man. So, yeah. Well, so To start us off, before we get into all the matches and whatnot, obviously the show took place from Long Island, New York. Um, Joe Tess is on a podium, very old school ish, where it's sort of a stage on the ramp and the background is the audience. So
Mhm.
there is he's on the podium, man. He calls up Jesse the Body Ventura, and Jesse comes up there. Jesse comes up there, man, wearing his boas, and he comes up there, and they begin to talk about the main event, man. I'm obviously not too familiar with Jesse. I know a lot of older fans of the product know Jesse, and obviously we all know who Jesse is, but I'm not really familiar with his work. But nonetheless, I like his delivery and I like his personality, man. He comes off very smug. He comes off very cocky, and I like I like his gimmick, and I like the perspective that he brings to the podium, man. And I wish this was another thing. They promoted Jesse Ventura would be in the booth. He was in the booth for one match. I would have liked to see a little bit more of him. I thought he was fine in the main event, and again, I thought they sold themselves short a little bit on what he could have brung to the show in terms of just from a commentary perspective. Like I said, they promoted him as a part of the commentary, or at least from what I interpreted. I thought he was going to be on the
All
commentary
nighter.
booth for the night, and
Mm-hmm.
and he wasn't, man. Your camera tilted again. So, so tilted up a little bit. Okay. Um yeah, so yeah, I thought he was gonna be on there all night. I thought he was gonna be yeah, like I said, I thought he was gonna be on there all night doing his thing, but that was not the case. That was not the case. So I thought that was I was a little disappointed with that as well.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Again, like you said, I don't know much of his wrestling work. Obviously, I wasn't watching during that time. I wasn't even alive. But only thing I've ever seen him in is the first Predator movie. He is in that movie. So he was good in that role. So I thought he was going to be good here, and he was good. He sounded good, and I would like to hear him again on the next one, but preferably all night, man. I think that would make it even cooler. But I just think a lot of things tonight were just underutilized or rushed, and I think he was one of those aspects where they kind of just underutilized him.
Definitely. Definitely. Um as far as see now when you're talking about things to like about this show, this
Hmm.
podium was one of them. I thought it just brought back a very old school dynamic to the show. There were the red, white, and blue ropes on the ring, which I thought was incredible. I thought that was a nice, obviously to go with the show colors, and overall, I thought it was a I thought it was a nice. I just overall thought it was a nice aesthetic to the show, and like I said, man, it was also the old logo was on everything. So that mixed with the red, white, and blue ropes, I thought added a nice touch of just old school to the show. It just kind of brought you back to the first Saturday night's main events, and that obviously used to be a thing actually not even just for Saturday Night Main Event. That used to be a thing that WWE did quite a bit, was the red, white, and blue
Hmm.
ropes, and I thought it was nice. And the ramp I thought was very nice, bro. The very
Oh yeah.
slim ramp with the steel guardrail, with the steel guardrails on your way to the ring, and they were lit up very well. So it excuse me, it gave the barricade a nice just a nice lighting to it. I like that touch as well, and I really loved the slim ramp. It was another thing that added a very just a very nice touch of old school to it, man. So yeah, I liked it a lot.
Definitely, man. I really like I said, the vibe to the show. I like the way they set everything up. the ropes, what the refs were wearing. I thought that was really cool. The ramp, the slimness of it, where like the fans were basically on everybody. That's something I always like. I think is always a great look, and I think was really cool tonight, man. Again, it was really that was the time was the only real killer tonight because everything production wise was really awesome, really like old school and just really unique, and it was cool. And I'm glad we got to see it.
For sure. For sure, yeah. Yeah. I forgot to mention the referees too. Yeah, I like the old school look of the refs as well, man. The blue button up with the black bow tie. I thought was a nice look, man. But yeah, I was the other thing that I was expecting for Saturday night's main event was the one way to enter and one way to exit.
Hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was I thought that was going to be I thought that was going to be a thing, and it was not. They just walked up the ramp that they came back from. So yeah, I thought that was going to be a thing as well, and it was not. But overall, man, and not to mention too, um a huge component of this show was Long Island.
Hmm.
They were for a very in the middle show. They were very hot for it, and very energetic. And at, at times where you know you were left scratching your head, man, you could always have that crowd to lean on, to just give the show a little bit more energy, when things are feeling, maybe rushed or whatever the case was. So I definitely appreciated the crowd here tonight for sure. They were a very hot crowd.
Oh, definitely. A good crowd can add or diminish, good or bad crowd can add or diminish to a show, and I think it definitely added to it. It was a great fucking crowd, energy out the ass, man, and that's always a great thing to see, and something that really adds to shows.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So that was that. As soon as they get done with the podium, we get the theme music of a returning, not yet fully, but a soon to be returning Pat McAfee.
Hey,
So Pat is back on the booth. Pat is back on the booth, man. As I can't wait to I can't wait to log on to Twitter next time and see all the AEW fans talking about how Pat is overrated and Pat
oh,
sucks.
he sucks, man. Our commentary is absolutely dog shit, but Pat, he's what's really bad is for commentary.
That's not what they say, man.
Somehow.
They don't believe their commentary sucks.
That shit is literally the worst commentary team very possibly ever. And Pat, I like Pat. I always liked Pat. I think he's still good, and I'm excited to see him come back. I can't wait.
Pat. Okay. Are you there?
There you go.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Back to what I was saying. Yes. But the AEW fans, they do not believe there is anything wrong with their commentary, man. Which I'll have you know. Pat McAfee, Pat he has always been in my good graces, man, ever since the Vince administration tried to give him shit for standing up during his commentary because he was getting excited. So
Or you want your people to be excited, charismatic, and enjoyable.
you would think, bro, not the Vince administration, man. So
No, no, bro, you want everyone to just be fucking flat out dead serious 24/7, unless he thought you were a comedy gimmick, and he just wanted everyone to be fucking flat and boring. I never got that.
yeah, good old Vince, bro. Good old Vince. I wonder what Vince McMahon was thinking, man, seeing a guy, if he was watching tonight, which who knows, right? I wonder what he thinks, man. Logging on to Peacock and looking at Saturday night's main event and seeing Jesse the Body Ventura on the show, man. A guy that he essentially blackballed from the company, man. I wonder what kind of rage just going through Vince McMahon's
Oh,
head. And then he sees a guy like Sami Zayn getting a pay-per-view singles match. Or
oh, you know he hates this shit.
yeah. Yep. And then he sees Kevin Owens going for
Oh,
the WWE title in the main event. I mean, his
are you
fucking head was
serious?
probably about ready to explode. Oh yeah, and
Oh,
yes, and Kevin is serious. And then he probably sees a guy like Gunther with the
oh,
world heavyweight title, the guy that he was gonna bury for the IC title. And then he fucking sees Finn Balor and Damian Priest. I mean, he was probably fucking livid, man. And then he
oh,
sees
no.
Io Sky. Oh god, he was probably
Oh,
livid
he was probably so livid they gave her a last name back, or a last name. Oh, you know he's pissed, dude. He hates everything about this current product. You know it.
for sure, man, for sure. Um, but I wonder how he felt, man. I wonder how he felt. A lot of people never thought that we would see Jesse back in the company ever, and
Oh,
lo and behold, here he is. So shout out to Jesse. But so what was I saying? Uh, oh yes. Um, yeah. So Pat McAfee is back in the booth. Like I said, I can't wait to see all the Twitter posts again of Excalibur greater than Pat McAfee.
greater than Pat McAfee. Good lord.
Get out of here. Get out of here with that mess. Which that seemed to be a heavy topic on Twitter as of a couple days ago, man. The AEW fans were they were posting the picture of Excalibur and then the greater than the greater than symbol next to next to Pat McAfee, which I'll have you guys know, man. The AEW audience, I'm telling you right now, bro. If they fucking think, if they think for a second their guy Excalibur is better than Pat McAfee, we have bigger problems because that
Oh, I'm
commentary,
telling you.
man. I don't even know, bro. I truly don't even know, man. I guess they like listening to unbelievable.
Oh man, oh hook to the right, hook to the far leg, whatever that means.
Hook to the far leg
Fine.
and a kick out.
Dude, commentary ass, and Jesse was really good tonight, man. I'm sure Vince is seething. I'm seeing that man here and seeing everybody love it, and I'm sure Vince is seething for everything in the modern day in WWE right now. So that makes me happy.
Swing and a miss.
Being a Miss T. Harris.
Ricochet T. Harris.
T.
Uh,
Harris.
so,
Oh,
you
that
know,
commentary is something else, man.
as long as Pat McAfee isn't giving me any of that, I think Pat McAfee easily clears
Oh, easily.
Mr. fucking lead play-by-play commentator Excalibur. Get him off.
Mr. Malachi back. Classic, man. So glad we got actually like great commentary over it. I love Pat. Like I said before, I really like Pat. Always did, always will. I like his energy. Him and that Michael Cole combo is insane. And AEW commentary doesn't hold a fucking candle to it.
No, it does not. But anyways, enough making fun of AEW, man. You know we had to get our jokes in. The first match on the show. Let's go ahead and move us out of the way here. We are. First match to open the show here on Saturday night's main event was Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre, man. This is very interesting. This is very
Mhm.
interesting because they posted a video. WWE on their socials posted a video of Drew McIntyre coming back from his match, and we'll get to that in just a second.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre, they had a good match. They had a very good match. It was very good quality. Pretty early on into the match, bro, Sami Zayn got thrown onto the announce table, thrown onto it, and flew right over it. Brutal spot there by Drew McIntyre. It looked great. It looked horrible, but it looked great. If you guys get what I'm saying. we end up going to a commercial break. And this was another problem with this show. I understand, this is a prime time TV special, on NBC, but bro, the commercial breaks, I don't know if it was just me, but the fucking commercial breaks were so abnormally long. I mean, dude, during this 10-minute match, yes, 10-minute match, at least 3.5 or 4 minutes of this had to be spent on on commercials alone.
Ugh, that's one thing that will always kill me for TV matches is why I really don't never care for them
Yeah.
or get stuck to them is because of commercials. I see a commercial completely kills the vibe to the match, completely takes me out. And when it comes back, I really don't care because I mean I just watched a fucking Burger King ad and then I watched a fucking Mint Mobile ad. I don't give a fuck now. I had to sit through 3 minutes of ads. Um, and that's one thing I think that adding extra time to the show could have helped is spreading out commercials better in between matches instead of always during. I never understood that.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Yeah, but again, I don't know if it was just me, man. I want to know what you guys think, but dude, the just man, the commercials on this show just felt abnormally long. And like Sir K said, it is harder to get into a match, when you're taken out of it for 3.5, 4 minutes at a time, watching fucking K Jewelers ads and whopper
Mhm.
whopper whopper and all this stuff, man. I mean, it just it completely takes you out of it, which I mean it does go to show whenever there is a great TV match, and you are able to stay into the match through commercials, it does go to show how great the match truly was. But in this case, man, with the length that the match was given, I mean, you mean to tell me you sent these guys out there for 10 minutes, and like I said, about a good 3.5, 4 minutes was spent on commercials. So essentially, you're looking at a 5, 6 minute match. I mean, how am I to get into that? I mean, it was good when we fucking seen them, but the commercial breaks on here, and I was watching on Peacock, man, and they were just abnormally long, bro. They were.
Mhm.
And it just it really did take you out of it, man. It really did take you out of it. But Drew McIntyre, a little bit after the commercial break from Hell, um, he went for a Claymore. He did not connect it, but Sammy used his momentum to hit Drew McIntyre with the Blue Thunder Bomb for a near fall. Drew McIntyre ended up winning this match through um, uh, he ended up winning this match from he got out of the ring. Sammy chased him out of the ring. He got back into the ring. Sammy chased him back in the ring, and right as Sammy rose to his feet, bam, hit with a claymore. As I love how Drew went about that, man. I love how Drew went about that. He outsmarted Sami Zayn, and it's really going to the story of Sami Zayn having to use his brain rather than his heart, you know.
Mhm.
So I like that. I like that, man, and I'm interested to see where they go with that story with Sami Zayn. I don't want to get it to a point where he doesn't use his brain so much to where he just looks like a fucking
Like an
idiot.
idiot. Mhm.
But I do want to see them, try to capitalize on that because it's a good story to tell, but you are treading a fine line of making him look like an idiot if you go about it the wrong way and making him look like he has dumb baby face syndrome. And I really hope they don't do that. But it's a good story to tell and it's an interesting story to tell. But I just don't want to see them. I don't want to see them go about it the wrong way, like I said, where Sammy ends up just looking like a fucking blithering idiot out of all of it. But I'm interested to see where they go with it nonetheless, and I am excited, and I'm interested to see what that entails for Sami Zayn and the bloodline and all that kind of story and how him needing to use his brain rather than just using his heart all the time, you know, goes into play with everything the OG bloodline has going on.
Definitely, man. Definitely. It's very. I like the overall idea of the story. Like you said, it can very easily be fucked up, and they could easily just make him look like a fucking idiot. Um, So I think it's a fine line they gotta tread, and I think they can. I think there it might be a point where you're kind of teetering on it, but overall, I hope they do well with it. I think they will do well with it, man. But it's a very good idea for a story. Someone putting their heart too much in something, and then it leads them down a bad road, man. So I like the overall idea of the story. I just hope they can't drag it out that stretch of the story. They can't drag that out too much, and they can only make him look so dumb to where the having a heart is an excusable excuse to where it gets to the point where it's not an excusable excuse, man. So I think it's a fine line, man. But I overall trust him, and I think overall it will do well. I think it might have some points where we're questioning it, but overall I think they'll do good on it. And like I said, like the idea of the story, it's just it's a one you really got to get right, man.
Yeah, no question, bro. But so like I said, Sammy gets in the ring. He gets nailed with a claymore, and what was a good opening match. It was good in ring quality. As I mean, it's Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre, bro. What do you expect? It's good in ring quality, man, and the crowd was very hot for it, so I can appreciate that. But this match went 10 minutes, and again, a large margin of it was spent with commercials, which Logan brings up an absolute amazing point. For the people watching on Peacock that pay for an ad-free Peacock, how the
Oh,
hell did we get stuck with commercials?
that's the thing. Like, you could easily do a thing where, yeah, if you're actually watching it on, the cable or a version of cable on NBC, yeah, you're gonna get commercials. It's TV.
Mhm.
But I don't know. Maybe you could broadcast it technically separately, to where if you pay for an ad-free Peacock, you don't get ads during the match. It'd be a way that'd be an incentive for people to, get Peacock, especially if you're doing more of these events, which they look to be doing. That'd be a good thing to invest into, man, because it'd be a good thing for fans to invest in Peacock.
For sure. For sure. But yeah, man, I mean yeah, it's again, man, if and two, there was a production mess up throughout the show where they were doing picture in picture on NBC, and they forgot to turn the volume, they forgot to turn commentary's audio off, so you can still hear them. You can
Oh,
still hear them. I think it was only once throughout the show, but you could still hear them as commercials were going on. You could still hear the commercial though. Um, so we know they're still doing commentary. So again, why don't I don't know if it's possible. I'm sure it is. I'm sure all you have to do is just throw an ad up for the NBC version of the stream, but for the version that's streaming on the Peacock app, for people that pay for Peacock Premium, bro, we should not have had these fucking long commercial breaks, because then I feel this 10-minute match would have been a little more enjoyable, and not that it wasn't enjoyable, but again, if we
it's
pay
too
for
much.
Peacock Premium, we should not have to fucking watch commercials for 4 minutes in the middle of a fucking 10-minute match.
Exactly. Like, at the end of the day, I'm okay with a 10-minute match. I'll live. But at the end of the day, if you're putting commercials in the middle of it for basically half the fucking match, it's too much. A 10-minute match straight through, I can do. Technically, what's basically 3 minutes and then 3.5 minutes of a match. That's not something that people want to watch and enjoy.
Yes, but Sami Zayn, Sami Zayn loses here to Drew McIntyre. Um, Oh, for sure. So Logan
Oh,
says, it's the same with Netflix. We shouldn't get commercials mid-match. It should be in between matches is the way to go. 1000%.
100%.
1000%. You know, especially if Netflix wants to dip their toe into ads in the middle of
Mhm.
things, you know, And we've already heard the news, man, that they're specifically targeting wrestling fans, and they're targeting Monday Night Raw to try it out because they know wrestling fans are accustomed to having ads and commercials in the middle of our programming. So you know what's going to happen to us. But yeah, through in between segments is definitely the way to go, for sure. But yeah, I don't know, man. Just if especially that first Raw on Netflix, especially the first Raw on Netflix, with the amount of big matches you have on that show, do not throw a fucking litany of commercials in the middle of those matches, bro. Because I mean that is just
It, like,
that would just kill the vibe so hard.
if I'm watching fucking Punk and Rollins, and then I get picture in picture with a fucking Burger King ad, I'll lose my fucking mind. Like, again, cable is cable. You're gonna have ads in the middle of shit. When they say roll out the ad, you gotta roll out the ad, so it is what it is. But for Netflix, they have the availability to pick and choose when you're doing it. Please fucking do it. Not during matches. Anything but matches, dude.
100%. Quick side note.
Hmm.
We had just talked. We uttered the saying "Raw on Netflix." That brings me to January 6th. The January 6th episode of Unscripted is looking to be a Monday Night Raw review only of Unscripted. Now, um, you know, in the beginning of the show, if something ginormous happens on Dynamite, which is in this day and age
Highly
is
doubtable.
very I doubt that. I doubt that immensely, but if just say there is something huge to go over on Dynamite, there's a chance we can bullet point certain things. But the way it's looking, the January 6th episode of Unscripted, we will just be talking about Raw on Netflix. We're going to be talking about what we're excited for, what we didn't like, what we don't like, things they should change, things, constructive criticisms, things that we loved. Obviously, the
Hmm.
match, because the show is looking too big to talk about any sort of fucking dynamite that night. So, um, again, if the gods fall down from the heavens and CM Punk returns to AEW for Fight for the Fallen in that first January episode of Dynamite, we'll bullet point that. But again, I truly doubt anything huge is going to happen on that episode of Dynamite. Maybe an Adam Copeland return. So if
Give a
anything, we'll
rah-rah
bullet point
speech.
it. For real. Don't want another one of those. But if we do get into that, if we do get into Dynamite in the slightest, it will be bullet points, if that. But just want to give you guys the heads up. And again, things could change or whatever. But the way it's looking right now, it looks like we're gonna be doing just a solo Monday Night Raw on Netflix debut, premiere episode version of Unscripted. So just thought I'd
Exactly.
throw that out there.
Which sounds great to me, personally, from someone who always says two worst parts of the week are watching Dynamite and talking about Dynamite. It's a good idea to me, man. So, like you said, unless something massive happens, which I doubt it. I mean, they just brought Julie Hart back on Collision, so they're not doing great right now, man. So I highly doubt we'll have a big talking point to talk about. So I'm excited to just talk about Raw.
You mean to tell me you're not excited for the Tijuana street fight in Orlando, Florida, with Mariah May and Thunder Rosa?
Uh, I I didn't even know that's where World Ends was taking place. It's in Orlando.
Yes.
Didn't even know that. Genuinely didn't even know where the fucking pay per view was taking place until you just said that. That is insane.
Actually, too, I also, I do hear a lot of that with AEW. I do hear a lot of like people a lot of times say they would go to the show. They would have went to
They
the
moved
shows, but
him.
they didn't know it was in their hometown. So,
Exactly, because the only fucking advertisement they do is a Tony Khan tweet. That's the only advertising that AEW does is Tony Khan talking about it, tweeting about it. Like, bro, run ads, make a fucking vignette for the pay-per-view. They made a vignette for the pay-per-view with that John Moxley and, Death Riders, little vignette they made for World's End. And there's no location. Like,
They're in the
bro,
middle of the desert. Like, shoot it in Orlando.
shoot it in Orlando and say Orlando, Florida, World's End. Like, something, bro, something. Complaining about
Dude,
fucking WWE, we still complain about AEW. Fucking hell.
yeah, instead of having them ride through the fucking desert, have them ride through a beach and throw up the flares on a beach in Orlando.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
I don't know. But yeah, just a quick side note, man. It's looking like the January 6th edition of NHP Unscripted will just be a Monday Night Raw review. It will be no AEW, probably no SmackDown again. If huge stuff happens, it could be bullet pointed, but other than that, man, it's looking like it's just going to be Raw on Netflix for that one. So
It's exciting.
definitely. So Drew McIntyre picks up the victory here. He picks up the victory here, man. And WWE on their socials posted a video of Drew McIntyre, and he's walking back to gorilla position. And he says to the camera, 1 down, 4 to go.
Hmm.
1 down, 4 to go. Now, what's also interesting and what's worth note, Michael Cole said on commentary, no, this isn't something stupid. This isn't a fuck up. Michael Cole didn't say T. Harris. He didn't. What Michael Cole said on commentary was, since Drew's been back, he's made it a point. He is going after the original, anybody that had to do with the original bloodline.
Hmm. I'm
Who?
sure next is Jay.
Yes. And then
And then,
I was going to on SmackDown, we're starting to see it bleed over with Jimmy as well.
exactly. And yeah, I'm down for it, man. I think it's going to lead for him and Robin. I'm down for that re-up. I doubt he wins. But, well, it won't be for a title, so you never know. You never know, man. I'm intrigued. I like what they're doing with Punk, not Punk. I like what they're doing with Drew McIntyre, and I like that path for him. How he obviously does have beef with everyone in the OG bloodline. So I like how he wants to face, each of them. Just he wants to go after each and every one of them. I like that.
100%. So here is Sammy. Here is Sammy. Now, if you think so, let's retrospective this whole. Let's pull out the butterfly effect here. So the butterfly effect in this situation, Drew McIntyre is now going after anybody that had to do with the OG bloodline. Now, what bloodline is he talking about here? Is he talking about the bloodline we seen at War Games? I don't think so. What I think Drew is talking about here is
Solo.
the whole fucking reason Drew McIntyre is a heel right now is because of that fateful night, or for us here in the States, that fateful morning in Cardiff, Wales, at Clash at the Castle, when Drew McIntyre was supposed to have his moment, and he was fucked over by the bloodline. When you look at that era of the bloodline, it was Sammy, it was Jay, it was Jimmy, it was Roman, and it was Solo Sikoa who costed him
Mhm.
that match. That's where things get a little tricky. Because how in the hell do you have Drew McIntyre beef with Solo Sikoa, who are right now top heels on their brand?
Mhm.
One of them just so happens to have a whole nother unstoppable bloodline at the moment. So it is rather interesting how they're going to do that, but I don't think he's talking about the bloodline that had the OG bloodline plus CM Punk. I don't think he's talking about that bloodline. He already kind of gave Punk the old tax write off on
Mhm.
Monday with the at least Punk took a bribe, so he kind of wrote him off in a sense. But what I'm really interested to see here is we have Roman Reigns showing up on a Monday Night Raw in January. It just so happens to be, we were just talking about it, the first Raw on Netflix. What if Drew McIntyre costs Roman Reigns the WWE, or not the WWE Championship? What if he costs Roman Reigns the Tribal Chief versus Tribal Chief match?
Mm. Yeah, he could cost him that. He could. I wouldn't be shocked. I like that outcome. I like that possibility. Obviously Drew got fucked out of many things when it comes to Roman in the bloodline, so maybe he gets it back. Maybe he fucks him out of the, as some would call it, the oofalafa. But maybe he fucks him out of it, man. I like that idea.
Which is very interesting then, because is that the direction for Roman Reigns at WrestleMania? McIntyre
It's Drew
versus
getting his get
Reigns
back. Hmm.
could be interesting. Could be
Very.
interesting to see how that goes, because or we have another Saturday night's main event coming up. Do we see that main
I
evented
could
by
see
Drew
that.
McIntyre versus Roman Reigns?
I could see that.
I could very well see that. I could very well see that show being spearheaded by those two. Which then too, if he costs Roman Reigns, he's got to beat up Solo too, right? Because there's no way he leaves Solo unharmed because he just, he's a heel now. There's no way.
Mhm.
Solo, at the end of the day, is the main dude who cost him that match. I mean,
Yeah.
without Solo Sokoa, man, we're not talking about a 1,300-day title reign. We're not.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Drew would have beat him. Drew would have got it. So maybe they're all in the Rumble, and that's maybe where he gets his get back on Solo. Is he fucks him out of the Rumble? Maybe they got a lot of possibilities they could do with that, man. So I'm very curious to see how they set it, because that's the hardest one to set up. I mean, obviously he's got his beef with the rest of the bloodline, and they're all kind of in a position where they could face a guy like Drew. But like you said, Solo, he's also a monster heel. He's the monster heel on his show, and he's got a group to back him up. So very curious to see how he could get back on Solo.
Definitely, definitely. And obviously, too, with the reports that McIntyre was brought back early, was the first time we were going to see Drew. He fucks over Roman Reigns at the Raw on Netflix, which again sounds great and all. But, if Drew is really going after the bloodline, and if it really is one down, four to go, you know, you are you're obviously talking about Jay, Jimmy, Roman, and obviously that number four has to be Solo, because there's no way, I mean, I see a lot of people saying, well, if it's not Punk, it could be Cody. What the fuck would Drew McIntyre? What does he care about fucking Cody Rhodes teaming with the Bloodline for? I can see why Kevin
Yeah.
Owens cares about it, but why the hell? Why the hell would Drew? Drew's worried about what happened to Drew. Drew is not worried about Cody
You
Rhodes
go
teaming
back
with
on your
him.
word.
Yeah,
Yeah, he doesn't care about that shit. I mean, he went back on his own word several times. That's kind of the whole point of his character. I mean, he literally just said that he was basically cool with Punk teaming with them because he did it to get something out of it, because he would have
yeah.
done the same. So he doesn't really need to have a beef with Cody. So it's very interesting to see how they're going to do the solo aspect of it, man. Maybe he nudges the new bloodline to go against Solo. Maybe he's one of the factors that nudges them against him. Maybe that's his way to get back. But I'm very
Mm.
very curious. Yeah, maybe Rock isn't like the secret leader, and maybe it's going to be a story where Drew kind of nudges them to go under the Rock, because maybe the Rock does want them, but they're repping Solo, and maybe he nudges them to go with the Rock instead, and that's his get back on Solo. He cost him his bloodline, so they got possibilities here, man. I'm
Oh,
very curious to see how they could do this, but they got some possibilities.
I like that. I like that,
I like
and
that too. I like
yeah,
that
that
idea.
that could be very interesting if they wanted to go that route. But again, if he is going to start something with Roman, because again, Roman is the whole cause of this butterfly effect
Hmm.
that we've seen, but Solo's just as fucking guilty, if not guiltier, than Roman
Yeah.
Reigns for the whole reason of Drew McIntyre being a heel right now. So it's very interesting to see where they go with this. And I thought that video was very interesting, man, because there's obviously a lot of routes they could take. And yeah, I mean, that is that's definitely that's interesting, man. That's interesting. That's a great idea, man. Is maybe Drew McIntyre ends up being one of the driving forces to ultimately take everything away from Solo, meaning
Hmm.
his bloodline, the same way how they did him. They took his moment away from him, at
Exactly.
in Wales. So that's very interesting, and I'm very interested to see what happens with this whole Drew McIntyre and Bloodline story, and how he gets his get back on these guys. I'm very interested to see, man. And yeah.
Maybe with
Mhm.
he, I mean, he destroyed Punk's bracelet. Maybe he destroys the I was gonna call it the Oofalaffa again. Maybe he fucking, destroys the holy shit, I can't say the right fucking word of it, but you know what I fucking
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
Maybe he destroys that. Maybe that's not gonna be a future factor of the story. Maybe it gets canceled out by Drew saying fuck all this bullshit. I'm sick of this thing and it cost me so much. Maybe he destroys it. Maybe you never know what he could do with this. They got a lot of possibilities.
They definitely do, bro. They definitely do. And that could be a way, they go. But then again, with this bloodline story looking to go on for absolute ever, I feel that WWE is always going to want the representation of having a tribal chief.
Yeah, I could
Um,
see that.
but that's definitely an interesting option for sure for WWE to go, and they have a lot of different ways to go with this now. But no, I love it. And honestly, I did not even see them wanting to bring Drew back to be around the bloodline, and the more and more they make
This
sense out of it,
whole
the more and more I like it.
Yeah, I really like it. I'm starting to really like it and understand why they're doing it. And I think they have, like, I mean, they were saying they have a direction that we don't know about. Maybe it's something along this line.
Could very well be. Because I was very skeptical at first of Drew McIntyre coming back to team, or to not team, to go against the bloodline, just because we already seen it. It was a huge part of the story. And they did the whole War Games thing in 2022. And I thought, I don't know, I thought that those two ships had kind of just passed in the night, um again, the more that they make sense out of it, it made perfect sense for Drew McIntyre to come back and team, or to, why do I keep saying team, to come back and go up against the bloodline, because he talked about, I with his time off, he understood that he can't change the past, but he's going to do everything he can to change the future, and he's not going to let the bloodline get in the way of anything else. So I like it. I like it a lot, actually. So yeah,
Definitely. Definitely.
that was that. The second match on the card: Liv Morgan versus Io Sky. This was some decent back and forth here. There was some decent back and forth here, man, as Io ended up giving a nasty, and I mean nasty, knee right to the nose of Liv Morgan, bro. Her left nostril was bleeding.
Ugh.
She smacked the shit out of her face, dude. I mean, they showed the replay, and oh man. Ooh, you could just, oh, getting
Oh,
hit in the nose always sucks, man. It always
oh, that
sucks.
does. Yeah, like Like having like, you're playing like a sport and like a basketball fucking smacks your nose, dude.
Oh,
That shit is the worst, bro. I've had that in like gym class before and shit, and dude, that is the fucking worst. So I can only imagine. The broken nose genuinely just sounds so painful to me. So that fucking sucks, and that was a brutal ass fucking mishap.
yeah, that always sucked, man. I'll never forget this one time in high school, man. We were having an open gym, and I shoot my shot, and it goes in, and obviously, when it goes in, it falls directly under the hoop. So I walk under the hoop to go grab my ball, and I grab my ball. I fucking turn around, and this fucking dumb motherfucker decides to shoot a fucking half court shot,
Oh,
airballs the fuck out of it, and right on the fucking bridge of my
oh,
nose, dude. Boom. And then the worst fucking part of the whole story is that it happened twice. I went back a couple shots later, I make my shot, I go to get my ball, I turn around again, and bam, right on the fucking bridge of my nose, dude. I'm like,
oh,
and I'm looking at this motherfucker, and I'm like, you fucking idiot. I'm like, oh, dude,
oh, dude.
it was the worst.
It's just, I remember one time in fucking elementary school, we were playing basketball, man, and obviously, you're running and whatnot, and this one dude meant to pass it to me, but I didn't, compute it fast enough, I guess. So, he hit one of those like things where you throw it like this, right in the center of my fucking face,
Oh,
dude. I didn't move fast. Boom, right in the center of my fucking face, dude. Headache like a motherfucker after that, dude. Had to go sit down. I was like, okay. I was genuinely like seeing like birds and shit above me, man. It was fucked.
oh, it is the worst, bro. It is the worst. And for anybody that's familiar with basketball, bro, when somebody shoots those half
Meatballs.
court shots, those motherfuckers come down with so much momentum, especially if you airball
Mhm.
it. They come down with so much momentum because who's ever shooting it is throwing it so hard, and it comes down with so much momentum, dude. And twice, dude, twice by the same fucking kid.
Oh,
What a
that's the worst, dude.
what an
Fucking
absolute
ass.
fucking geek, bro. Oh god.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Liv Morgan got a nasty fucking nasty knee right to the nose, bro. Like I said, her left nostril started bleeding. Io then hits a Meteora on Morgan. Liv is laying on the ground. She goes for the over the moonsault, which is met by the double feed up by Morgan. So Io hits, her face right on Morgan's feet, and she's leaning on the ropes. She is leaning on the ropes. Liv hits Oblivion, which, speaking of the Oblivion, and more specifically the Oblivion that Io takes, she takes a great Oblivion.
Oh
Fantastic.
fuck yeah. Uh, some moves are pretty just generally okay. They're fine moves, but they look great when you just get that certain seller, man. And EO is one of those people, man. She can make any move look a million times better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, um, Liv retains in 9 minutes. Another short one on the books, bro. 9 minutes for the women's world title match, and Io loses clean as a whistle. Clean as a whistle. So
Kind of crazy to ever lose that clean, but it is what it is.
definitely, man, definitely. WWE can make this right.
Yeah.
They can make this right on February 1st because
Jesus.
as an early favorite, I'm looking at Io Shirai, Io
Really?
Sky, specifically because I really just do not want to see. I really don't want to see
Charlotte.
Charlotte win the Rumble. She does not need a Royal
No.
Rumble victory. Just if you really want her to face Tiffany, just have her win
Have a
the
chance.
Elimination Chamber, at that.
Exactly. Worst comes to worst, it's fucking Charlotte. She could just say she wants a match, and you could just build a story around her, you know, and her fucking privilege getting the match. You could build a whole story around that. So, like you said, worst comes to worst, you could do Chamber. If you really don't, at the end of the day, it's Charlotte. You could just have her fucking get the match, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't fucking bat an eye. So I would definitely give the Royal Rumble to EO, man. I think that's the best path for her.
Yeah, and speaking of Charlotte too, man, whenever Charlotte does come back, she's gotta she's gotta be a heel.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you know, Tiffany is not only is Tiffany very over. Now, you can definitely turn Tiffany back heel one day, and
Yeah,
overall, is could it maybe be a little bit early to see her as a babyface? Yeah, but
if you're
if
going
it's
against Charlotte, you gotta be the babyface.
yes,
I'm sorry.
exactly. No, people don't like Charlotte. People
Th-
don't people don't like her. That's
At at the end of the day, you could be as bad as you want, but when you got someone like Charlotte who, no matter how bad you are, she's gonna outstep you in the backstage environment and whatnot, and everybody knows that. You gotta put that as an aspect of TV, and you just gotta make her the main bad guy in that situation to where even if Tiffany's, a bad guy, Charlotte is Charlotte. She's gonna step over everybody. She's at the end of the day, she's a backstage monster, and I think you could play into that, and I think it would be good if you play into it.
yeah. I mean, look at her stuff with Rhea Ripley.
Oh,
Technically, that stuff at WrestleMania 39, bro. Rhea Ripley was the heel. Rhea
oh
Ripley
yeah,
was fucking one of the most over people on that WrestleMania card. And people did not like Charlotte, and it's just because Charlotte just has this aura about her as a heel that really works. It does.
yeah,
It does. She's
exactly.
just very dislikable. She's very
Mm-hmm.
dislikable. She's like fucking Ricochet. She's
It's,
not as bad on the mic as Ricochet,
uh,
which is a crazy statement
it's
to
a
make,
crazy.
but I would choose Charlotte Flair on the mic over Ricochet. I'm gonna stand on that.
But she's not even Kobe Bryant with it.
Uh, uh, uh,
That's really
uh,
all he had to say in that interview.
I'm Kobe
Fucking
Bryant with it.
the last Osprey just cut a bomb ass promo. Renee asked him, his side of it, and he just says, you know, I'm Kobe Bryant with it, and that's it. And it's just silence. Great fucking interview.
You know, uh,
Fucking Renee should hit the fucking Rizzler. Just
she should have, bro. She should have. But he is the face of the company after all. So
hmm
you do have to at least give him that benefit of the doubt. They are building the company off his back. It wouldn't be there if he wasn't there. And for anybody who disagrees with it, you can, and I quote, suck my dick, according to Ricochet. Suck his dick. That tweet is actually still up.
That's crazy.
Yes, yep, suck
Good
his
lord.
dick. Um,
Goddamn.
yeah. So, if anybody disagrees with Ricochet, just know that's what he orders of you. But anyways, um, but no, Charlotte is very dislikable, and that you can really play into that, and with Tiffany. With the story that they're playing out with her and Nia Jax, it does make sense for her to come out of that as the babyface. Um,
hmm
especially if she is going up against Charlotte. But nonetheless, I'm not saying this in the sense of, she sucks as a briefcase holder or anything else you hear on the internet, bro. I don't think any of that. And I'm not trying to say they need to hurry up and rush the briefcase off of her. But, I just can't wait for her personally to get that championship because we just need somebody in that SmackDown Women's division to just start going nuts. And I think Tiffany's going to be a huge breakout next year.
Exactly. Like you said, it's really not that, I want her to be over with the briefcase and just be champ already. It's really just I want someone who I really care about as a champ, and Nia, like we said, hasn't been bad since her return, but she's not it as like a champ and whatnot, and it's not that I want Tiffany to just be done with the briefcase. I just want her to be champ.
Yeah.
It's not a detriment to the briefcase. It's more of her wanting to be champ. If we had a really good women's world champion right now, I wouldn't fucking mind waiting. It's just we don't have an amazing one, and I think we
Yeah.
can have an amazing one in Tiffany. So that's why we kind of wanted to
Yeah.
speed it
Naya.
up.
Yeah. Naya is not pushing the needle.
No, no, she's not.
If anything, she's right now doing her job to the most simple degree, and that is belittle
Mhm.
Tiffany to get Tiffany as over as she possibly can be when she does cash in that briefcase. But um
Definitely.
yeah, I can't wait for her to have it because, like I said, we just need somebody in that SmackDown Women's Division that's gonna just be going crazy, and I can't wait for Tiffany to really show the Tiffany Stratton that we seen in NXT, because when she was NXT Women's Champion, man, she had a lot of good stuff and she had a lot of good matches and whatnot, and she was just very good, very very good, was Tiffany Stratton. So I just
Hmm.
can't wait personally to see her doing her thing. I can't wait to see her doing her thing on SmackDown with that championship, and I can't wait to see her cash in. And I think it's going to be an awesome moment. Maybe you do it at the Royal Rumble for the undercard of the Royal Rumble. Maybe you put some random ass Nia Jax match on there and have Tiffany Stratton come out and you know uh you know maybe she tries to win the Rumble, you know what I mean? Fails, obviously. You're not going to have her win the Rumble. And then, she figures, okay, well, I didn't win the Rumble. I still got this. So then she,
Hmm.
challenges Nia Jax, or, runs in on Nia Jax at the match at the Rumble. Maybe you do something like that. Um, maybe you do something like that. But yeah, I'm definitely not one of the people that, want to see the briefcase just off of her because she's had it too long or this or that, because at the end of the day, man, those are the same people that complain when people hold the briefcase for like a month. They,
Hmm.
they complain they could have done more. Have fun with it. So I don't mind Tiffany's run with the briefcase. I like it. I just think a lot of people are clouding their displeasure with Nia Jax's title run for Tiffany, needing to have the briefcase rushed off of her. Which no, let them cook, bro. Let them tell their story with it. So yeah.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
So anyways, back to what I was saying like 10 minutes ago. Io takes a great Oblivion. She does,
Hmm.
and Liv Morgan wins. Dominic and Camille Rodriguez come out there to celebrate with her. Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley, as Liv Morgan is standing on the stage, Rhea Ripley comes out. She has her, Liv has her back to Rhea, and she looks shocked when she hears Rhea's music play. She looks shocked, and Rhea comes out there, does her little stomp thing in her entrance, and goes face to face with Liv Morgan as Liv holds up the championship. As I think we all know,
Oh yeah.
Raw on Netflix is where this is taking place at. No question.
Definitely, man. Definitely. I think it's time. Let's finally do this and let's end this, man. I'm excited.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that was that. Yeah, ready for this to just wrap up, and I'm excited for Rhea to have the title back, and I am very very interested to see what she does going into WrestleMania season, because I'm not sure if you guys remember, but when she got injured, one of the sadder reports was that they didn't know how long she was going to be out, and it turned out not to be very serious at all in terms of her being on the shelf. But um, she came back, and a lot of people were upset when she got injured because she was apparently earmarked for a huge WrestleMania spot, and then that was in jeopardy. But obviously now it's not anymore. God forbid something happens, but until then. But Rhea is earmarked for a big role at WrestleMania, so I'm very interested to see, is it going to be against Io? Are they going to call somebody up? It's just very interesting to see what they're going to do, man. So I'm interested to see for sure.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
So That was that. The next match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Damian Priest versus Gunther versus
Versus
Finn
Gunther
Balor.
and Balor. Ugh.
This match was pretty good. It was pretty good, man. Quick, but pretty good. Gunther, a couple
Mhm.
minutes into the match, had Damian Priest in a sleeper hold. It looked like Damian was going to go out. Damian got out of it. He powered out of the sleeper hold from Gunther. He gets to his feet. He drops Gunther with a South of Heaven. Finn Balor breaks it up. He gets some offense in on Damian Priest. He goes for the coup de grace. He gets hit off the top rope by Gunther. He gets hit off the top rope, so he's kind of just hanging up on the top rope. And Damian Priest hits a South of Heaven to Finn Balor that gets broken up by Gunther. Gunther pulls Damian Priest on the outside of the ring. He puts him in a sleeper hold, hits a power bomb on the steel stairs to Damian Priest. Brutal, brutal spot. He runs in the ring, hits a monster shotgun drop kick to Finn Balor, hits him with a power bomb, and that was it. And that was it in 11 minutes and 5 seconds.
Wow.
11 minutes. Quite the choice. I would have liked for this to be a little more competitive in terms of time. I would have liked to see a little more fight in terms of time, but you know, I understand we're on time constraints here, but it was a great match. It just felt very rushed, you know, and I think that's the story of Saturday night's main event here tonight.
I think that is. I think that's what everyone's saying tonight of the whole night. Is it was just rushed. A good match, good sequences, a good matchup in the ring at the end of the day. Just was too rushed, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So Gunther wins, and speaking of WWE and their social media videos, on the way back to Gorilla Position, they, you know, recorded Gunther walking to the back, and he said on there, why did I ever doubt myself? I just
I
beat
don't know
both
why.
of them. He says, why would I ever doubt myself? I just beat both of them. I'm the best there is, I'm the best there was, and I'm the best of all time, or the greatest of all time, or whatever. I don't know either, Gunther. I mean, after all, you were going up against Mr. Bisexual Undertaker Ramon over here,
Yeah.
and Finn Balor. Finn
I
Balor.
mean, fuck Balor, as
Yes,
Finn would
sorry.
describe it.
Fuck Balor.
FXXX. Fuck. Um. Yeah, I
Uh,
don't know why this is what he finally. Oh man, I beat these two at the same time. Why was I doubting myself? Why were you doubting yourself in the first place? That's the thing, and I don't know how this is the match. This 11-minute match is what got it out of him, man. Really don't know why they did that stint, man. Really didn't lead to anything, and I think it was nothing but a bad decision at the time.
Definitely, man. You know, I mean, I get, I do understand, you know, Gunther needing to beat both of them to, get back on track, but it's the way they went about his confidence issues that just really was just not, just missed the mark. You know, I mean, he looked like a complete goof, man, and I mean that goes against everything we know about him. You know what I mean? We know him to be a monster. You know what I mean? We don't know him to be a guy that, and if he is struggling with confidence issues, when I look at the Gunther character, at face value, he comes off as the kind of guy who's not going to express those emotions. He comes off as the kind of guy who's going to hide them away and never speak of them. But I mean, how many times have we heard him building up to this talk about how I had a hard time going into Survivor Series? He just doesn't. His
I
character
don't get
doesn't
it.
give off that vibe, man. So, but he finally beat the both of them, and I really hope, like I said, I said it yesterday on the news, but I really hope coming out of this, we can really, start to build him up as a final boss type guy to eventually drop the world heavyweight championship to John Cena. So, yeah.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Please. At least they're starting to go in this right direction, man. But I really don't know why they did that in the first place.
100%. 100%, man. I think the whole Gunther confidence issues, man. I mean, you could have had commentary talk about it in terms of from a speculation perspective, like, hey, the way Gunther's been wrestling ever since Finn Balor helped him beat Damian Priest, the way he's been wrestling isn't like the Gunther that we know. He looks like he's having confidence issues out there. But for Gunther to be out there talking about it every week, it just really dishonestly did the character of Gunther no good, in my opinion, man. But I'm glad it's over, and I'm glad we can start getting on the right track with him, and hopefully he has a huge year next year, and hopefully his 2025, and more specifically his world heavyweight title reign really picks it up, and they really start doing good with him, similar to what they did with him with the IC title, because this world heavyweight title reign so far has been very 50-50, man. I mean,
Hmm.
I thought the stuff with Randy Orton was very good. I thought the program with Damian Priest going into SummerSlam was good. And yeah, I thought the program with Orton was good. I thought that little mini feud with Sammy was good. But then the stuff with Priest started, and it really kind of just not soured the rain out for me, but it was just such an oddball that I don't think that they should have taken, bro. So yeah.
Definitely. Definitely.
Um yeah, so that's that man. And yeah, Gunther wins with a power bomb and questions why he ever doubted himself. Me the
And
fuck
so do
too.
I.
So before we get to the next match, man, just to take a second to talk about the official sponsor of NHP here today, man, W Energy. W Energy, man, is an energy drink loaded with vitamins and nootropics formulated to improve focus without the jitters. W Energy is a clean energy formula that is sugar-free, zero calorie, free from fillers, artificial colorings, and artificial colorings with 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving, man. You can get your W Energy products today with the link below and code NHP at checkout to save yourselves 10% on your next W purchase, man. So shout out to W, the official sponsor of the Notorious Hills podcast, man. So shout out to them
Hmm.
as always. Shout out W, bro.
Truly, shout out to you guys. You guys are a great product, and you guys should get it, man. It's a phenomenal product. It really is.
No doubt, bro. No doubt. So with that, as you can see on your screen, the next match was the Women's United States Championship Tournament Final. Well, judging off yesterday, I was completely wrong in all of my predictions. I predicted this was going to be a Bailey Tiffany final, and it ended up being the exact opposite. It ended up being Meechin and Chelsea Green, which
It's
obviously
fine.
they do have a feud from SmackDown. I remember they did that dumpster match not too long ago, whenever they were in Nashville. And so revisiting the feud here, man. I know Meechin got the win on Chelsea over uh back in, I want to say that was October. So she got the win on her there, and everything comes full circle, man, because now here we are with Chelsea Green and Michin fighting for the Women's United States Championship, man. And they talked about how the last time Chelsea Green held singles gold was in Impact Wrestling, or I think they said TNA. Was in
Oh,
TNA,
man.
but it was back. And I believe she was in a tournament final against Michin,
Oh,
funny
wow.
enough. Yeah.
That's cool. I like
Life
that. That's cool.
life is a circle, bro.
It is indeed a circle. Many things are a circle.
Mm.
Life, other things, many things are a circle,
Life is a
man. So,
circle.
exactly, man.
Definitely not
Exactly.
straight.
Not at all. But, definitely, man. I didn't expect this fully. I really did have a feeling Chelsea Green was going to end this. I didn't think it was going to be Me Chin, but don't mind at all, man. And I like what they did here.
Yes, and I do love to see, two women like this get
For people,
spotlight.
exactly.
Get some
It's different.
pay-per-view. Oh, for sure. Get some pay-per-view spotlight. It's two different women, that we're not really used to seeing on pay-per-view all that much. So I love that they, gave them some pay-per-view spotlight here, man, as I mean, I 1000% expected Chelsea Green to win this match, man. What she's going to do with the championship, I have no idea. I'm also, with the way her character is booked, I am a little scared that the title will look a little comedic at times.
Hmm.
But nonetheless, that's not to say Chelsea does not deserve it, man. She's done an outstanding job ever since she came back to WWE, with her character work, with just how organic her reactions can be, man. It's just very, it's something that just happened organically. It did. Um, WWE didn't really force her down anybody's throat, and people, just took a liking to her, man. So, um, Meechin or Chelsea Green almost accidentally dived on Piper Niven on the outside, and um yeah, accidentally almost dived on Piper Niven on the outside. Piper caught her. They would then get dived on by Chelsea, or by Meechin. When they would get back in the ring, Chelsea Green would hit a Rough Rider on Long
Mm,
Island. This would spark a bunch of woo 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 chants.
look at
You
that. That's cool.
love to see it. Um, Chelsea Green was also wearing gear that was very Zack Ryder inspired. It was the one pant leg with the one tight leg. So the OG Zack Ryder gear when he, was, you know,
Mm,
I mean, wow, 14 years ago he was wearing that gear. I love to see that. You guys all know I always talk about how much I love Matt Cardona's work and just the reinvention of Matt Cardona. I love to see
mhm.
him. What I don't like to see is him on AEW saying he belongs here. No, you don't, my man. Please go back to WWE when the time is right, bro. You can you can do a lot of good stuff over there.
Exactly. I remember when he originally first came to AEW back when Cody was in the company and they barely used him and he never came back up until now because he knew he wasn't going to actually get used. So you don't belong there, man. You're better than that place at this point. Apparently tonight, Jericho showed up at a GCW show. So, so much for their beef with GCW being the reason Ricky got pulled. So, oh man, that rabbit hole just gets deeper and deeper by the day, man. But love the
The
jet, love. Hmm.
the more it seems, the more time moves on, it seems Tony Khan was mad at Effie and punished Ricky, but decided to punish nobody else.
Yep, just Ricky, and that's even if it was because of IP and not just because of what Ricky said when he showed up at GCW. Might have just been a punishment to Ricky.
Could
Um,
could be, but
I genuinely wouldn't doubt it.
it very well could be. But then again, Effie, if what Effie said is true, I could easily see Tony Khan getting
Getting mad.
getting a little getting a little emotionally tarnished over those
Oh
comments,
fuck no.
especially with what he if he said with if what he said is true, that his dad's paying him to stay away from the Jaguars. So.
Definitely, man. Definitely, which is fucking the greatest thing ever if that's true, man. Um, but I like what she did tonight, man. I like Chelsea Green. I like the Zack Ryder inspired stuff tonight.
Yes.
I thought that was really cool. Fuck it, give her radio. That show will go pretty crazy. I'm just saying.
Uh,
That would go hard. That theme song goes so crazy. That OG version of that song goes so hard, bro. And I like what they did tonight. I like the references she had, man. And congratulations to her, man. Hopefully they treat that title good, man. I really fucking hope they do.
well, maybe Tony Khan brought Matt Cardona on the show because he felt bad that he pulled his feud with Ricky Starks out from under him before they could even get it fucking started.
Good lord.
Matt made a couple of tweets to hype the match, and Ricky got pulled, and no more beef anymore. So
Yeah, no more beef.
just love to see it. But no, I love the Rough Rider, man. I popped for that huge. And then obviously, like I said, man, we were getting woo 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 chants. So I
Not
love to
bad.
see that. Man. Yeah, like I said, I always tell you guys how much I love Matt Cardona, or whenever it comes up, I always tell you guys how much I just love the work he's done. And for anybody that respects talent that get over organically, Matt Cardona, bro, he's one of the OGs of
Mm-hmm.
that. He's one of the
Yep.
OGs to get over and get
You
punished
get
for it.
punished. Yeah, he's like the OG of fucking getting over and getting punished, man. So gotta put respect on the man's name.
Yes, you do, bro. Yes, you do. He's pioneer in the game, bro.
He
But
really is.
Chelsea Green is on the top rope, man, and Michin goes to walk towards her for what I'm assuming is a superplex or something along those lines. Chelsea slaps her across the face. It turns Michin around. Chelsea does a front flip over the top rope. She does a front flip over the top rope while her hands or her arms are locked onto Michin's arms. Lands picture perfect in in the way, or in position rather, for a beautiful unprettier. She hits the unprettier on Michin, and 1, 2, 3, Chelsea Green is your new your inaugural WWE Women's US Champion. This was met with a fucking huge ovation, a ginormous ovation for Chelsea Green, as the people on Long Island just genuinely wanted to see her win, as I think a lot of us did. And she absolutely deserves it. And um this was good stuff, man. I always love to see hard work and good work being rewarded. And Chelsea Green is the inaugural Women's United States Champion. So I'm happy for her, man. And yeah, just very happy for her. And I really hope they do good with her in this championship.
Definitely, man. I hope they do. I hope they do good by this title, by her, and I hope they make it feel good and important, man. I really hope they do, man. So good for her. I'm glad she got what she got and she got the reaction she got, man. I hope they actually like use her in this title and everything around it.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. So, yeah, that is that. And for the main event of the show, Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens for the WWE Championship. By the way, Chelsea Green and Michin was an 8-minute match. Golly,
No way. Good lord.
8 minutes. The main event of the show went 4 minutes longer than the women's title match. It went 12.
12 minutes for the main event.
Yes.
Good lord.
Cody Rhodes, well, first of all, Kevin Owens comes out wearing a Dusty Rhodes The American Dream shirt with his face taped over Dusty's face, and over the part where it says Dusty Rhodes the American Dream, it says Kevin Owens the Canadian Dream.
Love it. Dude, did you see his shirt on Friday? The details of that shirt?
Oh, the
That is the
Stardust
greatest.
shirt, yeah.
Bro, did you see? It was definitely like not an official Stardust shirt because it was definitely some like Walmart fucking ass shirt because in the back is a fucking render of Stardust holding the red Universal title. That
Oh,
shirt was fucking
I
hilarious,
didn't even
bro.
notice that.
Dude, you gotta go look at that shirt again. That is the most fucking Temu fucking Stardust shirt ever. I don't know where he got it, but that is fucking amazing. I genuinely think he had them print that shirt on him with just a random image which he found on Google, because that is fucking hilarious.
That is hilarious, bro. I have to go look at that for sure, bro. So Cody Rhodes comes out, and he is sporting not the giant gold W belt that he is normally
Which
wearing.
girl on me, personally.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, it's not as bad as when we first seen it. And I
No.
understand a year and some change later, I understand why Triple H added the gold is because I think he wanted that belt to just have some gold on it the same
Yeah,
way,
all
the
the others
world
do.
heavyweight title does. It's got some
Exactly.
gold on it. It's not just black.
Exactly, and the thing that always bothers me wasn't the gold, it was, like, the black in the logo itself, but overall, it grew on me, man, but
Mhm.
came off the Winged Eagle, man, and it looks pretty good. You could tell it wasn't the actual Winged Eagle, it was just some fucking WWE shop replica, but it was still fucking awesome nonetheless.
Yes, it was very clean, very
Mm,
modern winged
yeah,
eagle, but that's fine with me, bro.
it's still
Listen,
beautiful.
that that looked pretty fucking sick on Cody Rhodes,
Mhm.
bro. That looked pretty sick. And then the video of Kevin Owens walking out with it, it
Mhm.
looked pretty fucking badass on him too. Okay?
More like the modern version, I'd be down.
Man, that looked very nice. That looked very very nice, bro. Um
Mm,
yes, that just wow. It was a stunning visual to see Cody Rhodes come out with the Winged Eagle title, man. It was yeah, it looked awesome. It looked awesome, bro. I think it yeah, it wow. How beautiful was that? I mean,
same.
just yes, very crazy, bro. Very crazy that that actually even happened. But yeah, just an amazing
Again,
visual.
I do wish other people came out with, the older titles, like, bro, like I said, Gunther, Big Gold. Come
Oh,
on, bro. That just screams fucking please do that at the next one, man, because I need to see that man with Big Gold. That is just a visual I need, man. But
oh yeah.
loved what we got to see tonight anyway.
And he would just look absolutely stunning with that championship too.
Oh man. Anyone will look great with any of those fucking
Oh
titles,
yeah.
man.
Oh,
Phenomenal.
for sure. For sure. The match starts, and Owens rolls out of the ring. Cody Rhodes goes on the outside and brings the fight to Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens gets in the ring. He gets out again to try to dodge Cody Rhodes, and Cody hits him with a suicide dive. Cody is selling the ankle. Jesse Ventura was bringing up on commentary how stupid it was of Cody Rhodes to get in the ring and get his ankle rolled around with Chad Gable. Which I like how the
No,
match with Gable had a long term effect on what could have possibly costed him the championship here tonight. So I like that. Um,
exactly.
Cody is selling the ankle. Owens would then get some. Owens would then get some offense in on Cody Rhodes. He would hit him with a swanton for a close near fall. Cody Rhodes would then rebound with a disaster kick. He would go for the Cody Cutter as KO would roll out of the ring. Um, KO would pick apart the announce table, get Cody Rhodes on top of it, and Cody Rhodes would hit Owens with a RKO on top of the announce table. Cody would get him back in the ring, go and hit a Cody cutter for a close near fall. He would hook the far leg for a close near fall.
Yeah.
Um,
With the far leg.
Owens would a little bit later in the match, Owens would hit a fisherman suplex off the top rope to Cody Rhodes. Owens would go for Owens, I believe, would try to go for a stunner. This would end with the ref going down. The ref is down. We would Owens would or Cody would then turn around and then get hit with a stunner by Kevin Owens for a no fall because there was no ref. There was a referee that would eventually come down and Cody would kick out at 2. Owens would then go for a pop-up power bomb, which Cody would counter it, hit him with a super kick. Cody would then end up bumping into the second ref, and the second ref went down. Owens would go on the outside, grab a steel chair. Cody would counter it. Cody would counter his attack with the chair and get. He would counter. The attack with the chair. The chair would then be laying in the ring. Cody would get Owens in crossroads position. He would get him in crossroads position. Look at the chair, and with I wouldn't say without hesitation, but he definitely looked at it, seen it was
Yeah.
there, and
And then
hit
made
it.
the decision. Yeah. I like that, dude. I like how he looked at it. Thought about it for a second. Was like, well, if I want to end the match, this will end the match, man. So he did it. Dude, we're finally seeing some fucking balls on this fucking guy. Look at that. Cody Rhodes actually acting like fucking Cody Rhodes. This man
Yes.
used to be on full demon time. Please, people, watch some BTE skits. This man is a genuine demon, and I like how we're seeing glimpses of that, man. I'm so happy we're seeing this.
And I really hope they're telling a long-term story with Cody
I
Rhodes where he does go heel, because Triple H is always about that long term.
He's about that long term, man, and he didn't turn heel on AEW. The fans turned on him and whatnot. Maybe you could do a thing where you kind of slowly itch the fans in a way, not to turn on them, but to have that same mentality of we're kind of sick of this guy, and have that bleed into him turning heel, man. I think that would be so beautiful, man. Please, I need the Code Lander, man. I need it. I mean, we already got that with one segment with fucking Carmelo, which is just a Homelander moment. So I need more, dude. I need more.
Yeah, Cody would, I believe Undertaker said it on his podcast, but he was mentioning how, he likes Cody as a babyface, but he thinks, and I agree with him, Cody Rhodes' eventual best work of his career is going to come at
As
the
a heel.
brunt of a heel run.
Oh yeah, I think that I I think some of his best work was being a baby face in AEW and being a face in WWE, but I think he's not better at being a heel, but it comes off more naturally when he plays a heel, man, and I just genuinely can't wait to see that again, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it will, man. I Logan mentions that he's a man for the kids, and that it might not happen. You can make anybody for the kids, man. You can turn anybody into that children's
Jey
favorite guy.
Uso, Sami
You got
Zayn. They have a
mm,
litany of
you got
guys. Trick Williams.
exactly. You can make so many people, for the kids type guy. And I think Cody, it would be great for Cody if he was like, man, the kids are, love the kids obviously, but I got to do this for me. I got to do what I think I got to do and go with it, man. And I think that's the best decision for Cody. I think it's going to be truly, probably the best work of his career being a heel in WWE.
Yeah, and I'm glad, I'm glad he didn't go ahead and do it in AEW, and I'm glad he, if he is going to do it, go ahead and do it in WWE because there's absolutely no way Triple H would be putting these sort of things in here if he wasn't going to turn heel down the line. Now, the long term plan for Cody Rhodes, I honestly think in the span of like a couple years now, I think he's gonna play babyface for quite some
Another
time.
year or two.
But once WWE starts to get that next young guy that they really want to put everything into and make that guy their top baby face, and when the time is right, I think Cody Rhodes will eventually have a heel run. Now, will the time be, soon? Probably
Probably
not.
not.
Probably
No, it's
not.
WWE, it's Triple H.
But then, not to say, what Logan is saying is wrong, because if Cody, I'm sure Cody has a lot of pull in his character. And if that's something he really feels strongly about not doing, then it won't happen.
Boo-hoo.
But I honestly, like years and years down the line, I could see them doing it, when it makes sense to do it, man. Especially with the way he just proves Owens right here, right? He proves Kevin Kevin Owens is right? That's the whole tagline to this storyline. That's the whole tagline to his heel turn. Kevin Owens is right. And the ironic thing about all this is that it's true. Kevin Owens is right. Who's really the bad guy here? It's it's Cody Rhodes. It's Cody
Mm-hmm.
Rhodes, man. And I love that they're playing into that. And uh
And at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, I get Cody does have his pull, but if I was Triple H and I wanted to turn heel at the end of the day, I'm the
that's
boss man, and you're gonna turn heel. I think that's what's best for television, for your character. I'm gonna make you do it. Boo-hoo. I'm always one of the, you gotta be a boss. You gotta put your foot down. Again, I don't think it's gonna be next year. I think if anything, maybe late 2026, bleeding into Mania 27. 2027, I could see, but I would do it no matter what Cody thinks, and no matter his connection to the fans and the kids. I think you could always have people fill that role. It's an easy role to fucking fill for people at the end of the day.
Um, it is, but it isn't. In the Vince
It's
era,
hard.
it could be very hard. It's harder. It's
It's
harder
harder
to
than
play a
being a
baby
heel,
face for sure, or it's
but
harder to
you
play a
could
heel.
exactly. But you do have those people where you could do it. I mean, look how well Jey Uso got off,
Yeah.
man. You could do that again.
Yep.
You could do that again. I think multiple times. And again, Triple H, he'll work with people. He'll take their ideas, but at the end of the day, he's a boss and he should be the boss. And if he thinks it's something that should happen, something that
It
should
should
happen,
happen.
man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and two, with Cody Rhodes, I would absolutely, and now if you can find a way that makes sense and that is good for television to keep Cody a babyface his whole career, if he wants to do it, then you're talking a different story. But if we get to a point in Cody's career where the fans start to turn on him and all this stuff, and if he tries to give you pushback on not wanting to turn heel, we don't want an MJF situation. So it's
Mm-hmm.
best for business to probably turn Cody Rhodes heel if we ever get to that point. And if
They're
we will or not, you never know. But
they're lucky Cena worked as a babyface forever, man, because most people there was a period where it didn't work at the end of the day. There were years where it didn't work with Cena for many people
yeah.
and they were able to power through it. And I think that's not going to be the result for everybody. So I think it will be best at one point in a few years to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, there was a lot of times within Cena's run where it would have made absolute sense for him to turn heel, and Triple H is the kind of guy he's going to want to capitalize on things making sense and things like that.
And
So eventually, I could see Cody doing it, and I mean, Cena was all for it. It's not even like Cena wanted to push so hard to be a babyface. Cena was
he
on
was
board with the
there.
idea. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
He fucking paid for a new song, gear, everything.
Yep.
He was ready.
Yeah, he
And
was.
then
And
Kmart happened.
yeah, fucking Kmart. No, what the fuck?
No, they don't exist.
And if and I think Cody Rhodes is smart enough to know, if something is right for his character in that moment, then it's probably the right thing to do. And I think, even though he does have a lot of pull, Triple H is still the boss at the end of the day. And if Triple H wants to make something happen, I think Cody knows he can do it. And I think he's going to want to make it happen. And two, Roman Reigns was a guy of, he was the guy for the kids, right? He was the John Cena, but then he turned heel. And
And he's
somehow,
still that
some way, he ended up being for the kids still.
He's in that now. He's for everybody now. The adults love him. The
Yep.
teenagers love him. Everyone loves him, and the kids still love him. And he
Yep.
he was an absolute dickhead for 4 straight years, and people still fucking love the guy. It's possible. You can be a heel and be loved by the overall fan base. Okay, they're gonna boo you in the moment because that's the fun thing to do. But at the end of the day, they do still love you. It's a pretty simple formula. It's not the fucking 80s.
When the hell was the tribal chief for the kids? Right now.
He
Right
always
now.
is.
You look at, I mean, he's not out there shaking hands and kissing babies, but he turned
The
heel.
babies are still cheering for him.
He turned
They're still
heel, went on his heel run, and now look at him. This guy
most kids.
lost the championship and ended up being the most baby face, end up being the biggest baby face of the summer while he
Mm-hmm.
was gone.
Do you think Kid still had his fucking fat head on the wall when he was prime tribal chief? They never took it off the wall.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. He was for the kids. He went away. He came back. He was the tribal chief. He did his heel run. Obviously, he's for himself. Now look at him. Now he is for the kids, and like Sir he's for everybody
He's
nowadays.
forever.
So
And
the
even
heel
as
turn,
tribal chief, he didn't present himself as for the kids, but the kids still fucking loved him anyway. I mean, I'm sure most kids still had, like I said, the fat head on their fucking wall. I mean, come on.
100%, 100%. Um,
They still loved him.
I'm not saying in the early days he was for the kids. He was for himself. He was for himself. But
He was for
now,
the kids. Kids were
because
still
of
for him.
what the heel turn did, now
They
look at
still
him.
love him. Exactly. Come on, and even just because they're booing him in the crowd doesn't mean the kids still don't love him.
Yeah, a lot of people love a lot of people I mean universally, I think the
He's
tribal chief
loved.
was, I mean, even when he was with, even when we always talk about, even when he was with Sami Zayn and whatnot, even when he was with Sami Zayn and all that stuff, that these guys were getting their asses cheered off.
Oh fuck yeah! People, the whole crowd was laughing during all those segments, man. They loved it. It was fucking hilarious to them.
Logan, I'm very confused as to what you're saying. What to? Was it
I
me? Was it me or Sir K? I
because
don't
either
know.
or, I think we're pretty good because, like I said, he was for himself. The kids still loved him. It's pretty not hard, even if they're booing him, they still love the guy. It's not you could boo someone and love them, and the kids were doing the same.
The Now are you talking early tribal chief or when Sammy bloodline started to get over type tribal chief?
Enemy bloodline.
Okay, because I was gonna say early tribal chief, the kids most definitely hated Roman Reigns. So
Some of them probably did, but
most though, yes, the kids, a lot of kids. Now when they
oh
started to
yeah,
get
people loved
over,
them.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Mm, I enjoy seeing you guys bicker. This is nice.
It is. It's fun.
but yeah, but what was I saying? Yeah, but back to what I was saying is Roman Reigns, what the heel turn did for him, it ended up through all making him a baby face yet again. So if Cody wants to stay a baby face, a heel run for a little bit, may do him very well, because look at what it did for Roman Reigns. It made him a star that is unparalleled to any the business has ever fucking seen. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we've seen a lot of big stars. Okay,
Oh fuck
we've
yeah.
seen a lot of big stars in the company, right? You've seen San Martino, Hogan, you guys know the whole ordeal, Rock, Austin, Cena. And then there's Roman Reigns. Out of all those guys, which dude has probably told the most in-depth, attention detailed story out of all of them? It's between two of them. And that one you could pick your poison with, man. You're obviously looking at Austin or you're looking at Roman fucking Reigns. And yes, he's that
Mhm.
up there, bro.
Oh,
Um
he is at the end of the day.
oh, for sure. The Sami Zayn stuff. We had an unscripted many year in 2022 that talked about Sami Zayn. The
Yeah.
title of it was like Sami and Solo breathe new life into the bloodline. Roman really started to get over as a monster heel. But also, he started to get over as a monster heel because of
Mm,
how organic and how just genuine his relationship with Sami Zayn was, because people loved it, to where when he
exactly.
turned on him, it obviously made him so dastardly. But that relationship with Sami Zayn made a lot of people fall in love with the bloodline, including myself. So,
Exactly. I hated the bloodline up until all that Stanley stuff started. I thought the group was a failure. I thought that Roman Reigns was a failure. I did not like what they were doing. I liked it when they initially started with the initial Jey Uso stuff and Jimmy stuff, but then it ended up for me getting really stale up until Sammy and Solo and all that stuff, man. And it really just added more layers to Roman and his character. And he was way more layered and way more just genuine, and it was really fucking awesome.
uh, it was, bro. It was. But yeah, so circling back to Cody, man, I really think if it calls for it, I really think that actually could end up being the right call for him, is going heel,
Exactly.
because Roman Reigns is your biggest example. Like Sir K said, not everybody's going to have the Cena results. And that's what they tried
No,
to do with Roman. They tried to give
it
him
failed.
they tried to force the Cena results, and it failed. He was
It
never going to get
failed
over with that
miserably.
fucking, he was never going to get,
Big dog, fucking none of that shit.
he was never going to get over with the vest. He was never going to get over, coming out to the Shield music with a fucking pit bull on his Titantron. It was never going to happen, and what the tribal chief and the bloodline story did for him is unparalleled to any sort of turnaround I think we've seen in anybody's career.
Mhm.
You can say, well, the same thing happened with The Rock. The Rock wasn't main eventing WrestleManias as Rocky Maivia. Roman Reigns was main eventing WrestleManias, being shoved down our throat as Big Dog. And
Except all the people they try to bring up, Rock, Austin, they were just guys, and then they became special. Vince tried to make him special off the bat, and it didn't work. And then it changed, and it finally worked. No one was as big as he was, but still hated, and then changed like Roman did. It's such a unique fucking event in wrestling. It really is. He's one of a kind.
yeah, and to see what that did for him, if Cody does eventually get stale enough, which he very well could, the way his character is, and obviously there's a chance they can add some nice depth to his babyface character if they did want to keep him babyface, but it's going to be really tricky. I'll tell you
Mm-hmm.
that. It's going to be
Because
very tricky.
decent amount of fans already aren't crazy for Cody Rhodes or his title run or none of that. So you already got a basis in it right there. I mean, most of them are just fucking bloodline marks and just hate the fact that Roman isn't champ. But you got some people that have some valid arguments in there, and it's gonna get to a point where it might get stale. And again, like you said, they might be able to add layers and whatnot, but I think a heel turn at down the line, 2 years, whatever, it should be the plan.
Yes, and it also is something. I know they make a lot of money off Cody as a babyface, but they also made a lot of money off Roman Reigns as a babyface. But yeah, I honestly think you'd be
Try it
leaving a
up.
lot of money on the table if you did
Mm-hmm.
not try out a heel turn, especially because he. What did we say with the New Day for so long? Everybody was always like, "Oh, they shouldn't break up because they're brothers. They're positive." That's why a
Why it's
breakup
special at the group.
would be special with the New Day. I always
Exactly.
felt, because positivity such a such a huge part of the group. It would just mean so much to that story if one of
If
the
they're
guys turned heel, or in this case both of them. And they did.
like that's why that segment was so special. That segment was meant to celebrate positivity, 10 years, celebrate, bask in the memories and whatnot. And they turned all that positivity in that moment to pure negativity and just fucking
Ugh.
dived into Big E for fucking minutes straight, and it was fucking amazing. And you could do the same thing with Cody. That energy he has, that good guy energy, he just won't shut that fucking Boy Scout energy. You flip that on his head, and it's gonna be fucking great.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, and like you said, that's very very true with Cody too, is the way his character is. It would mean a lot for him to turn heel. But
Hmm.
Cody hits the crossroads on the chair. The ref does a slow count, and Owens still loses clean as a whistle.
Damn,
What?
that's that decision.
Bro, there was no Orton comeback. There was no, you couldn't even, if
Nothing.
Orton wasn't there, you couldn't have even hit his
Played his
music.
music. Yeah, something. Um, you're doing this whole thing with Gunther about him, having a down period on himself and whatnot. Why did you do that to Gunther and not Cody with this KO stuff? I don't get it. Have KO win, have Cody be on this weird down period where he's doubting himself and he doesn't know if he could have it in him to beat Cody to beat KO, and maybe he just dips his toe into a bit of a more aggressive side and whatnot, and he brings that out to beat KO and gain the title back and gain his momentum back. Why'd you do that shit with Gunther for no reason? And you had the opportunity with Cody and you just don't do it. I don't get it.
Yeah. They slow counted this man and he still lost with no shenanigans, no nothing.
Nothing. Just clean.
How the fuck? Like, what? I don't. I'm not understanding how this happened. Okay, I'm not understanding how this happened, bro. You mean that Kevin Owens with the heel run that he's been on should not have taken a clean loss here? And I know Cody Rhodes cheated, but I just really would have liked to see Orton screw him out of this to further a storyline or whatever, because now Owens has lost twice. Okay, no matter by what means, he's lost twice.
Mm-hmm.
And, does it now, what's good about this, does the Kevin Owens' right still hold intact? Yes. Kevin Owens is still right. He did, that argument still holds intact. So that is a good thing to come out of this. But I don't know. I personally felt I would have liked to see somebody. I would have liked to see somebody, Randy Orton screw him out of this. Because now
Mm-hmm.
what? Now what happens? Another match with Cody? Not
Just
just
for him to lose definitely now.
so we're getting. I'm assuming do we get another match with Cody? And he, is that the one where Orton comes back? And then what? I mean, it's just. I don't know. I just. I don't know if I'm speaking from a place of just wanting to actually see Kevin Owens win the championship here, but I really did. And I thought for just how great his heel run has been. And, maybe it's not the right time, man. Maybe when Kevin Owens does get his hands on the championship, he's going to drop it to Sami Zayn or whatever. But it's just very, I really would have liked to see WWE throw a major curveball and have, Cody
Win.
Rhodes lose to Kevin Owens and have Kevin Owens be one step ahead, of Cody Rhodes to further solidify the heel run of his. But it definitely sucked. It definitely sucked to see, Owens lose there, man. And I just didn't want to see it. I wanted to see WWE not play this one safe. I really wanted to see them throw a real fucking curveball at you and take the title off of Cody Rhodes, even if it's just for a month and a half until the Rumble. I would
Yeah,
have loved to see it.
exactly. And now after this, it's too late. And I think, like you said, you had the perfect opportunity, man. And it would have helped Cody too in the long run. You know, there are fans who think Cody's run is stale and all that and whatnot. And that's a good chance to add some fire into Cody's run. He's got to gain some fire back. He's got to get his momentum back, get back to KO, and it's gonna make him look good too, beating KO and getting the title back and continuing his journey. Man, that's a good look. Having just a long title run is obviously a great look, but also someone losing their way, gaining the momentum back, and winning it back is also a good look that you could have. Again, don't know why you did it with Gunther. Obviously, Gunther didn't lose the title, but they morally did that with Gunther. But you could have done that morally and literally with Cody here, and it would have made it really good. And I think it's just a massive missed opportunity here.
Yeah, for sure,
Oh,
man. So
100%, Logan. It's definitely not happening now. Cody is
yeah,
just gonna lose all this, go face Randy Orton, possibly lose that too, and then what? I don't know what you do with him after that, which is very crazy to say.
yeah, 100%. And yeah, I mean, like I said, what happens here, dude? Do we get another match at Saturday night's main event, the next one with Cody and KO? To because KO maybe feels he's owed a rematch because Cody cheated here or whatever. Cody used the chair to his advantage. Do we get this at the Royal Rumble undercard? Which the closer we get to this, the closer we get to WrestleMania, we're still gonna have to do a Owens and Orton wrap up. So like you know an early prediction of mine of just what I can speculate happening. I honestly don't even think we see Cody and Randy at WrestleMania.
No, I don't think we do at this point.
So that bums me out a little bit. That bums me out a little bit. I don't know if we're just gonna end up saving that for SummerSlam, or I don't necessarily know what's gonna happen there, but um I don't know, man. I really just would have loved to see WWE take the title off of Cody Rhodes here and put it on Kevin Owens. Owens deserves it, and I really would have just liked to see him get a title run, like I said, even if it is for a month or so, man. It could even give him, you know, more of a reason to, be pissed when he eventually loses the championship in a month or at the Royal Rumble undercard or whatever the case is. But I really would have just liked to see WWE throw a curveball, and for as great as his heel run has been, I just did not want to see Kevin Owens lose, and I didn't care to see that happen tonight, bro. I really would have liked to see WWE throw a curveball our direction.
Definitely, man. I would like to change. I would like something a little different, and we didn't get that, man. That's pretty disappointing.
Yeah. Now Cody Rhodes wins the match, and he hits a or he's doing a post show promo in the ring. He ends up getting attacked again by Kevin Owens, who hits him with a package pile driver. So that's for the people that say the Orton pile driver looked terrible. There you go. He
What do
hit
you think this one was?
yeah, he hit a yeah,
Fucking Lord.
we, we dude, oh God. Logan says this wasn't on TV. You guys can't cover this. Hey, maybe you're right, man. Maybe you're right.
Damn here, bro. Damn, what is with like? I get it. You want to use social media to sell, the stories, and you're telling anyone. Good. That's good. That's also good. But dog, put this shit on air. Why is this shit off air? At the end of the day, a big chunk in your audience doesn't want to sit on social media all day and sit at wrestling Twitter and whatnot. They don't. They would probably like to see this on TV. And if they're gonna pull a thing where they don't really talk about it much, like they did with the last backstage thing they did with Cody and KO, and the fans won't even know what happened in the first place. So like, why was this not on TV to sell this? I don't get why this shit was off air.
I don't understand it either, and this is exactly why I don't understand. There was at minimum a 30-minute, a 2 hour and 30-minute timestamp on this show. I do not understand it whatsoever. And he hits Cody with a package pile driver. Now, this is interesting because do you keep Cody out as long as you're keeping Randy out?
Like,
Because Cody's pile driver, you know, aesthetically looked better than the one he gave Orton. So it looked more vicious. So now is Cody going to be out as long as you've kept Randy Orton out? Which obviously isn't the case because we all know Cody's going to be right back for Netflix. Cody gets
oh,
pressured out of the arena, and Triple H and Kevin Owens get into it pushing each other. Well, I can tell you right there, Triple H looked like more of a boss in about a 30-second Twitter clip than Tony Khan has looked in the past 5 years. So that was great
Oh,
to see.
that was awesome to see, but like, what's the goal here? Is KO gonna short around on SmackDown and pretend to be champ until Cody comes back? Well, then Cody's the actual champ.
Just
So,
put the fucking
mm,
tight. Like,
imagine if KO won the match by that package pile driver. He would look like a damn monster, and Cody would look phenomenal when he comes back and eventually beats him for the title back. It would have done nothing but benefit both of these guys. I don't get it.
you could have easily put the title on Kevin Owens by having him take out Cody Rhodes with
Mhm.
the package pile driver. You could have had Cody come back around the same time Randy came back. You could have had Randy say, "Yo, you took me out with a pile driver. I'm coming for that championship." Have Cody come back around the same time and say, "Hey, I'm back for my rematch. I get a rematch
Mhm.
clause." And then you're planting seeds for Orton to be like, "You selfish prick. You fucking heard me. He pile drove me first. I came back before you, told him I had my eyes set on the championship." Or you could do a triple threat, and guess what? You could have fucking Cody Rhodes pin Randy Orton to get the championship back.
Randy, he could take the pin. That's the perfect setup, and that teases even more future. Cody being selfish and all that stuff, because he does come back and he's stepping over Orton. He's like, I want my title back, and Orton does deserve a title shot after something like that. So it's a perfect setup for a phenomenal triple threat,
Yeah.
and you're just not doing any of it, dude. I don't under fucking stand that.
Yep. There's two. Yeah. There's two plausible and serviceable ways. I just said that you could have easily done that. If you wanted to
Hmm.
go the singles direction, have Cody come back around the same time Orton does and step on his toes and say, "Hey, I'm
Yeah.
getting my title match. I'm getting my rematch. I'm owed a one-on-one rematch." Either that or do a triple threat and have Cody Rhodes pin Randy Orton to get the championship back.
And maybe let's say if you're doing the Cody and Orton match at Mania, or maybe you might do it at SummerSlam at this point. That sets up the future turn for Orton to Cody to make perfect sense. And he wants his revenge for him stepping on his toes. He wants that. Even if Cody might have to have the title at that point, whether he does or doesn't, I don't know what the fuck they're planning at this point. But maybe he's like, you stepped on my toes then. I'm gonna get my look back. I'm Orton. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. That'll be a great feud for the summer. Come on, what are you guys doing here?
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. I really don't understand why they didn't go with one of those ways out because, yeah, I like I said, you had such an easy out, especially if you were going to take out Cody Rhodes with a package pile driver here. Why you didn't just put the title on Owens?
Uh, I don't get it. It's the perfect setup.
I don't understand. I do not understand. And then again, if Owens were to lose the championship without being pinned, that would give him even more reason to be an asshole.
Hate Cody. Exactly, he would hate Randy even more because, he cost him the title and whatnot, and it would just fuel his anger for the whole situation even more. It'd be nothing but good.
Yes, and the whole Kevin is right thing. How right would Kevin Owens look if Cody Rhodes pinned his best friend, his
Mm-hmm.
mentor, to get the championship back? It would look like he's a horrible friend, which Owens has been telling us.
Exactly. KO would be right because the genetic KO, for the most part, is right. That's the whole point of the story and that's what is making Cody Rhodes an even better baby face right now is that he has his flaws. He's not this perfect Boy Scout, and that makes him having his good side even better. And you're just a Boy Scout, it can be lame, but when you have that layer to where maybe you're not such a great person as you say, but you are trying your best to be that good person. That makes that good person better for being that good person. It's better.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And yeah, Cody Rhodes, again, it would just go to prove more on the layer of his character of him being a bad friend. I mean,
Hmm.
look at the history, bro. Look at the fucking history. He fucking left his friends and their company to fucking die. Okay, he left. He left. He he fucking left his boys with Tony Khan. Okay, that if that doesn't show right there, you're a horrible friend. Then I don't fucking know what does. He left his boys with Tony Khan, bro. I mean, oh my,
That's probably the worst thing you can do, man. Fuck.
that's more unforgivable than fucking murder. I mean, it might
Yeah.
as well. I mean, it's basically murder of a fucking company.
Let's
Okay,
get 2027 WrestleMania Hangman versus Cody at WrestleMania, man. I need it.
there we go. Very well could be the case. I think the Young
It is
Bucks are
what
there
it is.
until 2027 anyway. So
Anyway, so it's gonna align perfectly.
exactly. Um, yeah, I mean, again, it would go to show, with him pinning Randy Orton to get the championship back, it would go to add to the layer of his character that he is a bad friend. So
Exactly.
yeah, I, I don't know. Again, I know I'm just a wrestling fan and I don't know anything because I'm just some guy sitting in front of his
Mark.
webcam. But yeah, so what did they call us? Fed
Fuck.
shills. I
Fed
know we're,
chills,
I
clickbaiters.
yeah,
Hold on,
I
guys.
know we're some fed shills, but dude, I mean, I think what I just told you guys, the two scenarios I just gave you guys would have been a pretty fucking halfway decent way to take the story. So,
Mm,
but
100%.
fans cannot have an eye for the product because we are not in the business, so we can't have an opinion.
No. If you don't
Um,
make a movie, you can't comment on a movie if bad is bad or not. You didn't like
exactly.
Joker 2, you don't make movies, so it's a good movie.
If you never made a baconator before, you cannot tell what day's a good day and what day's a fucking bad day for your local Wendy's. So,
Exactly.
you know,
My local Indies every fucking day is a bad day. So, fucking A.
yeah. Thankfully, the one I normally go to is pretty goaded. But yes, the one
You
out
know, the
by
one
you is
that,
absolutely
oh,
horrible.
fucking worst thing ever, man.
Um,
Oh, yeah, man.
but you know how it works, man. You know how it works. But yeah, man, that was Saturday night's main event, and yeah, like I said, just a very head scratching decision. And again, they left another really nice piece of Owens heel content off of television again,
Hmm.
which I get the heel turn. I get you wanted a shock factor to that.
Yeah,
I get you wanted a spur of the moment, I just snapped type thing, but this, you could have put this on the show. Come on,
you
man.
could have. You really fucking could have.
And again, if Cody is out for anywhere as long as Orton has been out, the fact you did not put the title on Kevin Owens is just absolutely just one of the dumbest fucking things you could have possibly done here.
Oh, 100%, man.
And yeah, man, that was everything for Saturday night's main event. If I could say one thing about this show again, man, I loved the energy of the show. I thought the energy was up. I thought the crowd was amazing, man, but there was just there it just it left your stomach so empty. It didn't feel like you got a nice full course meal at the end of this show, man. It felt like there was just so much more left to be desired from this
Hmm.
show, and that's what I did not like about this Saturday night's main event. But other than that, I thought it was a fine show. There was good in-ring content, good in-ring quality on the show, nice story throughout the show. Everything just felt so rushed. And I think that
It
was the
did.
show's biggest detriment.
Exactly.
But yeah, man, that is going to do it for this edition of your Saturday night's main event show review, man. Or post show review. And yeah, that is going to do it. Thank you guys so very much for joining us, man. This has been a ton of fun getting on here, discuss it. You know what's nice about this? We're not on here discussing how the company is on a downward spiral. We're sitting here talking about stories. We're talking about direction, things we can sink our teeth into. Not things that our
Mhm.
fucking teeth haven't even had a fucking lock on for the better part of 2.5 years. That's what's nice
Like,
about this.
Oh, dude, exactly. I'm not talking about the backstage environment and how everyone's doomed and how no one can get over because everyone's doomed. It's stories I like, stories I don't like, directions I like, directions I don't like. What we should be talking about when wrestling, is the factor.
100%. There's nothing better than getting lost in a nice wrestling talk with some nice booking scenarios and nice story driven scenarios that you can really just get a grip on, man. And that's what I love about professional wrestling, man. And that is what I love about good professional wrestling, um,
Hmm.
where there is hope. And
Yeah.
yeah, I thought the show, honestly, man, I thought the show was a bit of a miss, to be honest, man. I think
Hmm.
a lot of people were solely blinded by nostalgia going into this, which, okay, if that's your nostalgia, then that's your nostalgia. That's what that's the type of nostalgia that gets you excited, and that's fine. But I did think a lot of people were blinded by that, and again, if you think this show was perfect just because it made you feel like you were in the 90s and the 80s again, that honestly was not the case, man. I thought the show felt
No,
very rushed and not as hyped up as they hyped it up to be.
exactly. I hyped it up too much for what it ended up being. The overall, general like visual production and stuff was really awesome, but it was just way too damn rushed, man.
Yeah, man. And yep, that was that. And that is going to do it, everybody, for this edition of NHP. Another edition of your post show review. This time for Saturday night's main event, man. The next time we'll be catching you guys on the post show is for AEW World's End. Holy shit. That fucking show
Looks
looks wow.
that
um
shit looks boring.
I can tell you right now, I don't think that one's gonna make a final entry onto the show of the year list. I could be wrong, but oh brother, the way that is shaping up, man, that is a that's looking rough. But
Hmm.
yeah, I guarantee you, the next time we're on a review, we're not going to be sinking our teeth into nice stories and nice directions that we would love to see the characters going into. Something tells me we're going to be talking about the Tijuana street fight in Orlando.
Hmm. 100%. So that's gonna be fun.
That is going to do it for this edition of the Notorious Hills podcast. Another edition of your post show review, this time for WWE's The Return of WWE Saturday Night's Main Event. That is going to do it. Thank you so much, everybody who joined us here in the live chat and everybody in the Replay Mafia. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and it has been always a pleasure for my Johnny.
And I, Sir K.
And that is going to do it for this edition of NHP, another edition of your post show reviews, and that is going to do it for your Saturday night's main event post show review. With that, ladies and gentlemen, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you all on Monday after Monday Night Raw with NHP's Unscripted.
Peace.